So today I am going to show you a quick review of my new project, which is basically a smart chessboard. So using this smart chessboard, you can physically play a chess game against a computer chess engine like Stockfish, or you can even play with your friends. And after completion of your game, you can review all your moves, such that like base moves, blunder, or some other possible base moves. So now let's see how it actually works. So to start your board, you have to first connect the power cable and the data cable. So I have already connected it with my laptop. Now let's start the software. So let's start our software. So whenever I start the software, you will see a very beautiful starting message with the help of LED and a sound effect. So let's see. Okay, after completion of the starting animation, in your screen you can see a welcome message like welcome to SJS electronic chessboard designed by Saurabjyoti Sharma, firmware version 1.0. Now first you have to select whether you are playing as white or black. So currently I am playing as white, so let's select white. Okay, then you have to select two modes. First one is play against Stockfish and the second one is human versus human. So first one is basically play against computer and the second one is when your opponent is your friend. So currently I am playing against computer, so let's select option 1. Okay, after that you will see 5 difficulty levels. So it's basically your computer search engine difficulty level. So you have to select it according to your capacity. So now, for example, let's select option 5. So now let's see a very interesting features of my board. So suppose before starting of your game, you remove some of your initial pieces, like I have removed these two initial pieces. So if you try to start your game, your board will first undergo a setup checking mode and your board will scan all your initial squares, and if it finds some missing squares, then it will indicate you with the exact square name and with the help of LED. So now let's see how it works. If I try to start my game, so in your screen you can see that empty square detected F2 and F7. Okay, in your board you can see those square with the help of LED indication. So now let's place the first missing pieces. Okay, after that you can see I have only one empty square left, which is F2. So as soon as I place my last empty square piece, your game will be automatically started. Okay, now in your computer screen you can see that board status ready to play, game started, have a nice game. Now next turn the player to move. Okay, suppose I make a move like E to E4. Let's make a move. Okay, as soon as my move is registered, you can see my opponent move with the help of LED indication. Now in your computer screen you can see 3 different boards. First one is position board. All your updated position will be shown in this position board. Next one is history board. So all your registered moves is shown in the history board, and in the remark section you can see different events like capture, castling, or checkmate, etc. The third one is scoreboard. Your scores and the opponent's scores will be shown here. And at the last you can see the next turn. Now Stockfish to move. Now in the history board you can see opponent move is not registered yet. Now if I complete the opponent move, now in the updated history board you can see my opponent move is registered successfully, C7, C5, remarks none. Okay, now let's make my move. Suppose, okay, you can see my opponent capture my piece. Now in the history board my opponent move is not registered yet. Now if I capture or if I complete the opponent move, let's complete the opponent move. Okay, now in the history board you can see the opponent move is registered, and in the remark section you can see capture by stockfish, or in the scoreboard you can see opponent score is +1. Okay, now I have to make the next move. So what will happen if I try to remove some opponent piece? Now let's try to remove this piece. Now you can see the LED indication, and you can also hear a warning beep. Now in your computer screen you can see now it's white turn. Return all move black pieces to their highlighted root squares. Okay, so no other valid moves will be registered unless and until you place those opponent pieces return back to their original source square. So let's place back this piece. Okay, now you can see board position restored, correct turn may continue. Okay, now let's make another move, like okay, my opponent capture my knight. Okay, let's complete the move. Okay, in the history board you can see capture by stockfish. Okay, now my opponent's score is +4. Now let's select the human versus human mode, and let's play a quick full game so that we can see different situations like checkmate, castling, or check, etc. So for that I have to select the option 2. Okay, now you can see all my initial pieces is already present on my board, so my game is automatically started. In the board status you can see ready to play. Now next turn white to move. So let's make some random moves so that I can see what will happen during the check. Okay, now in the history board you can see as white and black, scoreboard white and black. Now next turn is of black, so let's make a random move. Okay, now I am going to give you a check to the black king. Let's see what's happened. Okay, now you can see the king LED is constantly blinking, meaning the black king is under attack. So let's prevent the check. Okay, so in the history board you can see as check by white. Okay, now let's see what will happen during the checkmate. So for this let's play a quick beginner game. So like okay, in the next move I will give a checkmate to the black. Let's see what happened. Let's capture this. So you see the animations. So if white player wins, all the initial white squares blink 5 times. So similarly, if black wins, all the initial 16 black squares will blink 5 times. If the game is ended in a draw, so both the initial black squares and white squares, total 32 LEDs, blink together. So this is the animations. Now in the screen you can see as game over, winner white, white wins. Congratulations to the winner. Thank you for playing on SJS electronic chessboard. Now you can see here a PGN text file is generated. So using this PGN text file, so you can analyze all your moves by using a popular chess app like chess.com or Lichess, so that you can learn all your moves, all your mistakes. So that's all for today. Bye bye. Thank you.